On New Year's 2017, I unveiled the most expensive car purchase I've ever made. A 1992 Acura NSX with 83,000 miles for $31,000. At the time, it was the cheapest one available in the country with a clean title and a manual transmission. But I bought it sight unseen, and it arrived with quite a few problems. And when I mean quite a few, pretty much everything was broken. Things like the horribly misaligned suspension, dead climate control, ABS going nuts, and then there was this boy eraser red interior with horrible seats, along with that nasty steering wheel, and pretty much every trim piece was broken. I felt pretty stupid. And when I posted this video online, pretty much the entire internet had to join in and saying how stupid I was. I've gone through and I've selected some of the comments that weren't laced with profanity because it is YouTube. There's a lot of profanity. Here's one. Your car was in an accident. You probably have a bent frame or subframe. Yes, you would have been better off buying a well-sorted one. The car is aluminum and very costly to repair. Here's another one. I would cry over spending that amount of money on a riced-out clunky car, even an NSX. I can't imagine repairs and returning to stock would end up even being remotely affordable. Thanks. Here's another one. Hoovies garage, scrap it. No. Here's another one. Nice way to blow 30 grand, dude. Unbelievable how foolish people are. And my favorite of the bunch. You're an idiot. Daddy DeMuro should bend you over his knee and spank you. So 3 long months later, the car is finally fixed and drives like new. And I'm sure you're all wondering how much this cost. So you might want to get comfortable because this is going to take a while. Before I invested heavily into the car, I needed to figure out why the alignment was causing it to pull hard to the right towards the sidewalk, like a Mustang. I tried 3 different shops and none of them could make any sense of the spider web of tubes comprising the front end of this thing. Finally, I found a guy that was able to figure out what needed adjusted, and for only $180, the problem was solved. There was no frame damage or anything was bent, it just needed an adjustment. With my biggest worry solved, I gave my new best friend Dave a laundry list of maintenance and repairs to perform, and with a $45 an hour agreed labor rate, he dove right in. With no service records and based on the horribly neglected mechanical condition of this car, I knew there was no way I could trust the timing belt, so that was the first on the list. I treated it like a Ferrari major service, and then I also did the water pump, the spark plugs, and an oil change. At a Ferrari dealer, this would cost you 5 to 10 grand depending on the car, but for an Acura, it was only $681 in parts and $330 in labor, which meant the total was only a little over $1,000. So far, so good. Next was figuring out the schizophrenic ABS system, and I chose to completely eliminate ABS altogether. For $391, I ordered an ABS delete kit online and spent another $148 in labor and fluids to have it installed. Now that the brakes weren't trying to cause an accident, I sent Dave on to slay the next electrical gremlin with this car. The climate control system was completely unresponsive and was stuck blowing something similar to lukewarm human breath. Turns out the climate control computer had had a massive stroke, so it was sent off to a rebuild for $181. Labor to remove and replace was only $67.50, and with $91 to recharge the AC system, I no longer had the heavy breathing setting only for the climate control. With all the big stuff out of the way, Dave dove into all the little niggles like replacing the leaky thermostat, lubing the window tracks, replacing the struts in both rear hatches, and getting the stereo system to work properly. I now had a fully functional NSX that drives like new. But how much did it all cost? The repairs totaled $2,589.09, and if you add that to the $31,375 purchase price and the $1,050 I spent shipping it here, my total invested was only $35,010.09. This is a great price for a sorted clean title NSX with under 100,000 miles, but because I'm an idiot, I couldn't stop there. The first thing I did was change the wheels. While a set of used OEM caps for $100 would have made the old ones acceptable, I wanted to modernize the look of my car. So I bought this set of wheels with tires from a newer NSX for $1,100 and spent another $500 having them refinished in metallic gray. Now that wasn't too obscene of a purchase, but then I had to deal with the disaster of an interior. Once again, I could have spent a much more modest amount bringing this thing back to stock, but I had zero self-control when I began perusing all the cool aftermarket bits available online. Are you ready for this? Here's before and after. I had the whole interior reupholstered back to black, with red diamond stitching on the seating surfaces. The center console and trim were replaced with pieces custom made from carbon fiber. I also sourced a shifter and floor mats from a Zanadari Edition NSX, along with a more appropriate aftermarket steering wheel. It's the perfect 90s supercar interior brought up to modern standards. All these improvements cost a whopping $4,633, which is more than the repairs and the wheels combined, bringing my total invested in the car to $41,243.09. It's probably only worth 40 grand at this point, so I guess you could say I lost out. Oh, but it doesn't feel like I lost when I see this thing in the garage every day, and especially when I take this marvel of Japanese engineering out on the road. There's no chance I'm paying off my credit card bill in this lifetime. There we go.